4 days after anti-government protests began, there was a substantial bloodletting in Bangkok. But it didn't come, as many had thought possible, at the hands of security forces. Members of the so-called Red Shirt movement donated gallons of their own blood, which they called a sacrifice for democracy, to be splashed outside the Prime Minister's official residence, while a Brahmin priest laid a curse upon its gates.
And most of the protests have been aimed at trying to create a situation where the military would crack down on the protesters. Since that hasn't happened, they've moved into the symbolic realm, and they've also invoked a lot of Thai superstition in order to try to make this a public relations stunt.
Welcome to Dispatch. I'm Marla Dial. The United Front for Democracy Against Dictatorship, which supports former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, has been rallying in Bangkok since Friday, but calls for Prime Minister Abhisit Vejjajiva to dissolve the government and call new elections have fallen flat. And so, by some measures, have the latest demonstrations.
The protesters had trouble from the beginning reaching the 100,000 mark, which was the sign of a protest that equaled the really gigantic one in April last year. The government has taken security measures to make sure that the protests are constrained from the beginning, and those appear to have been successful. Not only that, but the military has resisted using force against the protesters, even despite a few grenades being thrown. The government has shown that essentially it can act ahead of time, and that will strengthen its claims. And then, of course, elections will eventually be called, but they won't be called under pressure from the red shirts.